Hi there. Welcome to the discipline of discipleship. I just want to take a few moments to look at the discipline of solitude and what it means to be comfortable being alone with God. Now, that is a challenge for a lot of people, but one that we've been having to get used to in this particular season. Are we secure in our individual relationship with God? Are we a Christian when we're intimate with Him? I'm challenged by that because whilst people can see my actions and see my lifestyle in many ways, a lot of people can't see within the mind. But God can. And He knows just exactly who we are. I believe getting alone with Him helps us to be real and helps Him to deal with us on an individual basis. God is a personal God. Let me clarify that statement. I don't mean that each person has their own God, but He's intimate. He loves to speak to us spirit to spirit, but get alone with us. Do you know when it speaks of the Lord's Prayer in the Bible? The first part of it says to get alone in a room where it's just you and God. We know the words and we've recited them over years, but the principle is that we have to get alone with Him and be comfortable being alone with God. That's where the true integrity of our relationship with God comes. Who we are in the dark, as they used to say. Now, I know the many different sins that I've carried around with me for my entire life. They've all been repented for and taken to the cross. But I have a very, very short account with God. He knows exactly who I am in the dark. There was a song that I really enjoyed when I was younger as a Christian by someone called Big Daddy Weave. And that song was very powerful because it was called The Audience of One. And it spoke about us getting alone with God, being in a place where it can be just us and Him, me and Him even, and to be totally and completely honest. I used to do a lot of study about the Lord's Prayer and what it would be really like if we were in an audience of one. You know, we learn it to speak it together corporately. That's how I grew up as a Methodist, to recite it, and just had to adjust as I went around as the differences between sins and trespasses. But in my prayer life, I really wanted to be honest with God and show Him just what was going on within. You know, my prayer life can be dramatic sometimes and go through mood swings, but it was never hidden from Him. So I used to just pray how I was feeling. And the example that we used to give was like, if on your heart is your greatest problem, say, for example, you need a brand new washing machine, and you're getting before God, asking for Him to intervene and saying, I want world peace, but not trying to ask for a new washing machine because you felt that it was something not very spiritual, then God would see right through that. He knows us intimately. He created us in the womb that we were born in, and He is the one that looks after us. So He knows. He knows your thoughts, and He knows when you're trying to hide. He knows just exactly what we're going through. The audience of one is a powerful place, because you have to accept that God knows everything, and that when you get before Him, you're not trying to hide anything from Him. I do believe that I've met so many people who don't necessarily take that on board and try and hide things from God. They want to seem to Him like they seem to other people. They want to pretend that they're something that they're not. He doesn't fall for that. Jesus never did. Disciples never did. Think of Ananias and Sapphira. They knew when lies were being spoken. But in that audience of one, you need to be able to pour out exactly what is going on, who you are, what you're struggling with, and get in a place where you're comfortable being honest with God. That means the days that you wake up terrible, you push on, but He knows that that day is terrible. He's not fooled by the fact that you don't mean a single word in the songs that you sing. He's not fooled by the fact that if you pretend all is fine and everything is okay, He is not conned. He knows us intimately, and He is our true Father. We need to get alone with Him more. We need to take time to be in solitude, to be able to find that He is the one that will take us to a place where we are alone with Him. You know, that solitude is very, very important. Myself, I'm an introvert. I learned very early that an introvert and an extrovert wasn't just about being someone that is outgoing or confident or someone that is shy. It's more about where you get your energy from. And I find myself really energized when I'm alone, when I find these places of solitude and when I'm able to just be on my own. Of course, I'm never on my own, because God is always there and I can always turn to Him and find Him in that solitude. But for me, that discipline is very, very important, because I need to get alone to connect with Him. If there are lots and lots of people around, I'm not going to find it as easy to get on my own with God, because, as I've said before, that's the place where we get honest. Not that I'm trying to hide lots of things, but I want to listen and hear from Him intimately. And that's where the honesty comes from, in that place of solitude. So I encourage you all, can you get alone with God? And then when you do get alone with Him, how does it feel? Do you feel shame from all the things that He might reveal to you? Or do you feel like a child connecting with his Father? My Father knows everything, and I feel comfortable in that place where He and I are able to be as one, united, sharing, being open, connecting spirit to spirit. A disciplined disciple appreciates and seeks after that audience of one. Solitude, that is a discipline of a disciple.